around 65% of our leads come from LinkedIn. Okay.
Unbelievable.
And we're growing. We'll do
Right.
probably 4x this year.
Wow.
We're building efficiency. It's driving a lot of efficiency.
Yeah.
We're on track to hit profitability by the end of the year.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Secondly, it's improving win rate, conversion rate of the PLG funnel.
Yeah.
The leads are just far more emotionally attached because they've been following for a while and then for the first time checking us. So it's different than just a regular lead.
This episode is brought to you by TestBox.
Cool.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to
Thanks
finally
so
meet you in
much.
person.
Yeah, great to meet you.
You and I met probably a couple months ago and just kind of exchanged notes, and been very, big fan of you and what you're doing. And when I knew you were coming over to SaaStr, I was like, hey, we got to talk, right? Because I think you are really, leading from the front on this new go-to-market playbook, and I'm excited to dive in today.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me. I love the location.
Yeah,
Good sunny day.
it is. I mean, you can't beat it, right?
Yeah, perfect day.
Yeah. So let's start with a little bit about you, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about who you are, where you're at today, and really how you got here.
So I work at Line. Line is a customer-facing collaboration tool, like a digital sales room. Basically, we're a leader in that space, and we sell to sales team, to revenue organizations. And so I came from sales. Like I was born and raised, and I stayed in sales somehow, you can say that. So I've been 17 years in sales, B2B, in tech, prior to being a founder, CEO. I was a CRO, VP sales, did the 1 to 10 twice, did the journey up to 100, and kind of seen a lot, and basically kind of a lot of the challenges that I've experienced really led me to building Align, to founding a company. And I think like we connected, right? A lot because of LinkedIn. So I kind of, behind what we do at Align, there's like a belief, a point of view that we've really developed on how the world is changing.
Yeah.
And that really led to me kind of finding the whole founder brand concept, or creator marketing. When I say creator marketing, I think, and we can talk about that, like I'm looking at it from a full 360 degree of external, internal creator. Like that's what we're really, we saw the biggest change. So I write pretty frequently, evangelize really the world of buyer centricity, buyer enablement, kind of shifting from only sales focused enablement to really buyer facing enablement, or enabling the sales team to be really more buyer centric and to help them facilitate the buying journey.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that's where we're obviously very aligned on the buyer centricity. I'm curious, though, like to take a quick step back, what was it that made you decide I'm going to start my own business?
I was always very ambitious. I was kind of wanted to conquer goals, conquer mountains. Like I'm very driven by success, by all of that. So as an AE, was always had the goals I want to now hit.
Yeah.
Bigger deals, bigger revenue, bigger target attainment, and then I want to become a manager. Was exposed to that earlier, and then went back actually to IC, and then get back. And then so at some point, kind of I understood. I wrote to myself really very clear goals that I want to manage I want to get to certain ARR and manage and oversee certain team size. And then at some point, just dreaming, I said, okay, I want to be a CEO at some point. I wasn't very sure, like it was never about being a founder. It's not that kind of thing, right? A lot of people say, hey, I want to do my own thing. And that's where, early on in their career, for me, it's just to be an operator, to build something big. Yeah. Right. And I always felt that when I'm a CRO, VP sales, director, part of a company, that, okay, I would have done this a bit differently. I wish, like, I always loved touching a lot of things. So if I would have done marketing, maybe I would have taken this that direction. So I always felt like I want to do more and really be part of and kind of build something in my own vision. But I thought that the path would be more, I'll do a few exits, be like a 3x CRO or something like that. And then, okay, let's maybe join a company as a CEO. But just the opportunity came knocking, and it was just too good to be true. Like all stars and moons aligned. Like it was the perfect situation.
Well, tell me that. What were the stars that aligned for you to be like, this is the perfect opportunity. This is the time to jump in.
Stars aligned to be aligned.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So my co-founder used to work with me at a company called Site. I was VP Sales. He was first AE, 200% in 2 years in a row. Became a director. Really, really killer. Yeah. Top performer. And he always had that bug. He wanted I want to build my own thing, work, be the owner.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was CRO, he all the time kind of chatted with me about he's starting to think about doing his own thing. And he brought me in as an advisor initially, before there was an idea. Yeah.
Okay.
So we started thinking about the idea, and I was not full-time, like I was really hands-on helping him. And then he started building the prototype for this, and we became the first customer.
Wow.
And then I just saw, I was CRO, and my entire team tells me they're excited about that product more than ours.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. And I saw their reaction. I saw like our customers, and I just he just felt crazy. And he basically came and told me, hey, I don't want to run this alone. Do you want to come in full time? So,
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fantastic journey.
Yeah.
And so you make the leap, and you obviously are very buyer-centric, right? So what was it about when your go-to-market motion that you were like, intentional about, this is how I'm going to build my go-to-market motion centered around the buyer?
Here at Aligned, or in general?
At Aligned.
Kind of,
at Aligned.
Yeah. So the whole reason for founding Align, really is that. So basically, the idea came retrospectively a few years earlier, right?
Okay.
The aha moment, there was this really incredible deal, 440K ARR deal that was closed in outbound 90 days from the first cold call. And it was just this out of this world sales process. The AE ran every conversation, was like, there was no us. She was, the customer really saw her as a consultant. She looped in our CEO because she saw an opportunity to even co-design some special use case for them that would differentiate them. She was able to kind of create that CEO to CEO level connection. So she really did everything perfectly. And then it was a Friday afternoon, and we were sitting and raising toast for that deal when it closed.
Yeah.
And we asked her, what do you feel that you did differently? And she said, it's the first time that I wasn't selling.
Wow.
I was kind of offering a buying journey that you would pay a premium for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So, and that when it hit me, and we were always obsessed with the question of how do you build top performers? What's the top performer thing? So of course there's grit, there's a lot, there's coachability, there are a lot of things. Yeah. But really from a behavior point of view, it's that they're not selling, they're facilitating the buying journey.
Right.
They're really an extension of the buyer.
Of course.
The buyer, that's how they see them. That's why they spend time with them.
Yeah.
That's why they get access. That's why they can equip and advance the sales process, the buying journey. So that's the idea. And then a few years later, when we reconnected, we saw it was COVID, basically, when we, post-COVID, when we started company. So 2021, boom, a lot of things have changed from a digital point of view.
Yeah.
But then there was the downturn.
Right.
And we saw the go-to-market, the game is broken. It's changed.
Yeah,
100%. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I realized is that what the top sellers were doing is just what we should be doing.
Right. Sure.
But we were able to get away with it with getting a 16-step sequence that's personalization is, just, someone's first name. And, AEs doing interrogative discovery, very junior, feature dump demo, let's pressure, and try to push someone to close. So we were just able to get away with it. And the shit, right, that everyone put out there, because buyers were just buying like crazy. Okay, so let's just buy. And then became, a few things have changed, right? I call it the buyer-led era. I think we shifted from that growth at all costs, everything can happen, into this buyer really focused era where PLG-shaped behavior,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, good call. Good call.
Complexity went up significantly. If you look at the last decade, number of stakeholders, okay, 4 times,
Unbelievable.
right? You have now if you look at a lot of the research, the CFO is involved in more than 80% of the buying decisions. So for the buyer, right, the number of touch points also, it's a lot, it's coming up a lot in research. So basically you have an increase in buying complexity, a change in buying behavior. Right now, more than 70% of the buying group are Gen Y, Gen Z, who were born with their phones, right, in their hands, and are, right, buying by self-service. And now another shift is AI. Now everyone can go throughout the sales process or their buying process, go in research tools and compare tools. So basically what we're facing is a situation where if we do not really make it extremely buyer-centric, if we don't really fix the entire process from the buyer's lens and put an owner on that, and not just say, hey, and what do sales leaders do? Be helpful, add value, okay? Okay, great, how? Like the sellers don't know how. You need to go really deeper with how to do this, all of this stuff. Then if we don't do all of these things, the reps are going to stay out of the conversation. Okay? And just you're not going to be able to hit quota. And if you look at the last year, more than 80% of teams have missed target.
Unbelievable.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a fascinating response. I love it. No, it makes so much sense. And I guess where I'm curious, right, because I want to dig into, obviously the playbook has changed, but, how do you think about the profile of your sellers, right? Like, what are the skills that they need to possess? And is it different than it was, 5 years ago?
I think that what made a top seller is still what makes a top seller. Like a seller is a seller. I just think that what made people great back then, okay, is what you need to see in everyone. Okay, you could get away with sellers that are more pushy and are good at the end of the sales process, that are closers. Okay, we all allowed to hire closers, and we want these closers. And I think I worked at a company where my VP sales all the time, he said, hey, like, we need to find the closer. It was one of the criteria in the hiring process. And, and we were optimizing a lot for the people that can do the creative stuff, that have a lot of grit, that at the end, they really maximize for the end of the process, right? Grit, creativity, being on top of it, they like making moves any day, working with a lot of sense of urgency. And that worked because, okay, the sales process wasn't that great, but if they're really, really doing a good job at the end, they were doing okay. Okay, they weren't the top. They were doing okay. I think that right now, this just doesn't work because what's a closer? A closer is the accumulation of all the things that you've done right throughout the process, and then the deal really can practically close itself. But okay, if you also have these things that I mentioned, you won't use it to the same intensity. But then you can also be even better at hitting the quota on time and having things not slip. But if you do the discovery, right, that builds the business case, not the discovery that helps you qualify. If you work on calls to build consensus, okay, if you multi-thread not in order to bypass someone and to get the power, okay, I want to get the power. If multi-threading is about you helping a champion share risk with others, okay, and if you're thinking about it this way, like if you do all these things right, then wow, damn, that deal gets to the end and it has an army of champions, of stakeholders, it has your executives, it has a business case that no one can ignore, and then the moves, you don't need the closing moves, right?
I love this response. And, something that I heard somebody say is like professional selling is back, consultative selling is back, right? The buyer wants to feel like you're on their team, right? You're helping them get through this because not only is selling to them hard, them going and buying software behind the scenes is extremely difficult as well. And so I'm curious on this, general concept. What do you think is one thing that companies are still doing today that just doesn't work in this new go-to-market playbook?
I think that they're trying to run transactional sales. Okay, you're thinking about transactional. I think that a lot of companies think that transactional is a synonym for SMB. Okay,
That's a great call out. That's a great call out. It's not. It's not at all.
And I'll give you another one. They think that complex sales is a synonym for enterprise sales.
It's not.
It's not.
Yep.
Okay.
That's great.
I have we have a customer that used the line to close, and they give us a big shout out on that.
Yeah.
Deal, like a customer
Right.
a deal. She closed $1 million deal
Wow.
for in SMB under 90 days. Okay,
Amazing. That's amazing.
all of the ingredients of an enterprise sale.
Yeah.
But it fell under the SMB category for them because
Right.
that's how they categorize.
Company size,
Yeah.
employee size.
Yeah. So I think, I think there's still some of it, but it's just going to be replaced. I don't see, I'll tell you what, my perspective, how I'm, I'm not a future teller, but I can't predict the future, but I think that PLG, right? Product-led growth, people buying self-service will transition to AI-led growth. And it's just the natural evolution of, you'll see transactional sales. What's transactional? It means that it's just a transaction. Okay, discovery is just, hey, let's qualify in, qualify out to see if we're not wasting time here.
Right.
Let's give them all the information they need, push, close, right? So that kind of very quick process, you're not getting a lot of value. You don't need a human there.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I was going to ask you is like, is there a need for a human or is it light human touch? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that what will happen, and by the way, that's one of the things we're betting on directly. I think that you'll go and ask for a demo, and as a buyer, right, you just want to see the demo in these really like 10K, 15K, maybe that's the limit for next year or two.
Sure.
And then you'll be able to get an avatar that answers your questions. Okay, and they know, and they have all the playbooks, the Sandler and the Challenger sales and everything in their mind. And for you, it's just like an experience, like we were talking before we started about Waymo, right? We rode Waymo because it's an experience. If you would have told me years ago that, and I was having a lot of conversation at SaaStr with people about Waymo, if people would have been so comfortable about this, someone told me that the use case right now is kids. They're sending kids to schools, right, in a Waymo because they don't want the Uber driver, right? It's like more, they feel more safe,
right?
So there are a lot of things that you can't think about looking back a few years ago, but right now we're talking about it in such a natural way. So I think it's the same thing. Like, you go on a demo as a buyer, there's an experience of this thing that's funny and smart, and you're having conversation with it, like you're having conversation today with the ChatGPT voice, which is really good.
I was telling someone I was doing it today, preparing for today.
I'm having, sometimes my kids and I were trying to troubleshoot stuff like the Xbox fails, and we're having conversation with it, and it's fun. Right?
It's friendly,
fun. It's friendly. So we're making jokes and we're telling it, hey, stop for a second. And so I think people are gonna enjoy the experience in some way. They're gonna get what they want. No one cares about you. They care about solving their problems, they care about not getting fired and getting a promotion. That's what a buyer, a champion wants, right? A promotion or not to get fired. So if that thing can bring them there without now waiting, if it's gonna be just better than waiting for a week for a demo, and now I got what I wanted, it really asked me smart questions and showed me the right things. Now I get an aligned room, and the room, automatically changes based on things that I said in the demo. The business case is there. I have a lot of the right content is there. I have a demo embedded from your tool, for example, already embedded there, an interactive one. And now it follows up with me. Okay. It gets the signals of what I'm doing in that room. And now from the signals, it knows how to follow up a bit more. It maybe will send even a multi-threading email to kind of get a little bit more people into the loop. It will write the right proposal. Now, I'm getting this like a self-service experience that wow, that's cool. It's doing that. It's doing that. And that's it. And I can buy it.
Amazing. And I love that example because, the quote that I think I referenced too much, right? Last year, Salesforce said 88% of people are buying on the experience, and that number has gone up year after year after year, right? And when products have like Olympic level margin differences, right? It's the experience at the end of the day. And so I love all the things that we're talking about. And actually, like a good thing that you just said to me that really resonated is when I first got into software sales, I didn't understand why the ladder was like SMB to mid market to enterprise. It never made sense to me, right? Because some people are just better at different, motions at the end of the day. And I think we're rethinking everything as it relates to go to market. And it's the roles and the profiles and what it takes to make people successful. And speaking of that, this is where I want to shift gears, right? Because I think where I just, commend you on all that you've been able to do is like this founder-led brand, right?
Yeah.
And kind of going back to the moment, right? Like what was the moment that you're like, I'm going to start doing this? And why did you start doing it?
Yeah. I think the moment was just experimenting with marketing like crazy and getting stuck all the time.
Hey, as you should, right? Experiment, innovate.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was when we built the company, I was all the time passionate about marketing and look at what previously companies done in the space. Like ClickUp, I think did crazy marketing really good, and Gong, of course, in our sales tech space. So all the time wanted to do something big. So I was really all the time curious, like looking and seeing what's going on, but experimenting. I think a lot of startups, maybe most of them, I don't know, like you're pioneering a new thing, right? Not a lot of companies go and say, I'm going to be the next generation CRM.
Yeah.
You're going into a very existing category where there's already a lot of demand, but you just need to capture it towards a different angle on that existing demand. No, you're going and you're saying, hey, interactive demos, that's new, right?
Yeah.
Or digital sales room, that's new. Or AI SDR, that's new. So you need to educate the world.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Which means you need to create demand. And then at the beginning, everything that we tried was SEO, Google Ads, going to events, which is a little bit of generating, but we were building PLG.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, we need mass, like we need volumes.
Right.
So in PLG, you either find really highly viral product, which we have good amount. We have 30% of leads are virality.
Oh, nice.
Or you need to somehow, marketing needs to do the job.
Yeah.
So I got exposed to the entire influencer creator world and just got hooked on that. And I saw some people really talking about how many leads they're getting. And then that just drove me to experiment.
Yeah.
But I would say like there are two things that were the hardest thing that I've ever done in my career.
Wow.
And that's one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think it was for you that was just so hard? Was it putting yourself out there? Was it, trying something new? Like, what was it?
The combination of getting yourself to really go out of your comfort zone, plus putting so much time as a CEO, okay, on something like that, where it's not like outbound. These are the results of outbound, a million playbooks, right? It's just, okay, I saw Chris Walker.
Yeah.
You know Chris Walker?
Yep, I do.
So I think Chris Walker was doing it. Adam started doing it, and I saw more of Adam. And then you need to believe that what they're saying is really true. One. Secondly, that it can happen for you.
Yeah.
And then that it will at some point just happen.
Right.
Okay. So these are two. And then the third thing that's just so hard is you don't know if it's working until it's really working.
Till you get that escape velocity, right?
Yeah. Until you go viral. So you see here and there, but you want right now to like 50%. Like right now last quarter we grew 112% in new ARR in PLG because of taking the social game bigger. So you want to see that level of growth. Yeah. But you're just not at the beginning. Right. And maybe you go viral. So until I went viral once, and which for me today, it's not even, I wouldn't even categorize it viral. Only then I saw the DMs, podcast requests, like it all exploded. We saw that peak in leads that day.
Right.
Only then I understood that it's working.
Yeah, amazing. It is interesting how the goalposts change as you continue to do this and like what
Yeah.
the level is. How many times a week were you posting?
Yeah.
And how long did it take for you to go viral, right? Like before you went viral.
And I think I was able to get 1 to 2 per week.
Okay.
Okay, because something that I did try to replicate from day one as a strategy and do,
Right.
wouldn't say, replicate a little bit from what I saw from Chris Walker mostly, is really deep value.
Yeah.
Right, not like short posts, tactical, really more long format, deep playbooks.
Yeah.
So I was spending a lot of time. So I was only able to get to 1 to 2 because just getting to the rhythm of finding the good ideas and writing fast and finding the hook quickly, and that takes time. And I think I was doing it here and there, and then I stopped, and then I went back maybe a year.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And then suddenly I found it.
Yeah.
Okay. It was 2 things that did it.
Okay.
One is there has to be a very clear strategy on what you write about.
Okay.
Okay. Which is your voice, your strategic narrative, your character, your like your pillars. You have content pillars.
Yeah.
So it took me time to figure it out, because also, again, not a lot of examples. Typically you can go and get inspired and see, okay, here's the outreach playbook, the Gong playbook, how they do outbound, how they do outbound, how they do outbound. You get you mix a lot of things, you go and experiment quickly. Here I didn't have a lot of these, so I really had to sit down and write for a long time, because because we're selling to sales. I was all the time kind of stuck. Hey, how do I do the tactical stuff? I can't go. What do I write? Like, I can't go and do what some of these AE influencers do, because they, here are the top 7 discovery tips. Like, it's just CEO top 7. Like, what the hell? So I realized that, hey, I can talk about my team just closed.
Right.
When I was VP sales, we hit X million in 2 years. Okay. And did that. Or that story of how we founded the line. When I was VP sales, my top AE closed 440K deals in under outbound deal in under 90 days. Here's how she did it. Right. So then I understood that this is the path. So it took me a lot of time to understand what I write about.
Right.
And then the second thing is how you write.
Yeah.
Okay. So the how, also, it's a lot of experimentation. How to write a hook. Yeah. What are the ingredients of the post? And today I realize, like, these 2 things, a lot of people think, like, there's a ton of myths, by the way, a ton of myths. Yeah. One of the myths are, you need to post daily.
Right.
You need to do it for a long time.
Yeah.
Until it clicks. And then at some point, like, it will really work. And you need to build an audience. That's another myth.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
And when you get enough followers like so-and-so have, then you will really get a lot. So that's why people think that it takes time. Okay. We've proven it wrong.
Right.
If it would have started right now from scratch, I could have gotten to where I am right now within, I think, couple of months. Yeah. And we're now proving it. We're doing it with our head of sales.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was posting on LinkedIn here and there, but it's mostly what everyone do, like the social stuff.
Yeah.
I was just a SaaSter, I'm hiring, things like that. Right now, we took her on coaching and help her find the voice, and we're helping her write. Every post is hundreds. Her top post, she just started, like, she did maybe 6 guided posts with our guidance. First one did 1,400 likes. Yeah. And then she has a few that are 600, 500, 700.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it.
That's amazing, right? That is amazing. And I think what I want to highlight, right, before I ask about the numbers, right, is that when you and I first met, you told me you spend how many hours writing posts?
I think it's around 6 to 8 hours on a Sunday morning. I wake up early.
Yeah.
And then I write. Plus, every day, I think, not every day, like the days that I post 3 times per week right now.
Yeah.
At least an hour.
Wow.
Because I'll leave the post on Sunday, and then I want to get back to it.
Yeah.
okay, I have to leave it and then get back to it, look at it again, and then I'll edit and change stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's the commenting before, commenting after I post. I comment before on my previous posts. Like I have right now probably 100 comments that I didn't comment about or on.
Right.
I can't get to all of them, but I'll go and I'll read and I'll like and I'll comment on a few. So that adds more time, and commenting after adds more time. So it's a thing. And then you're getting every post, you're getting a ton of DMs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, that is unbelievable.
it's a lot of time,
right?
I think maybe 20% of my job right now is on content.
It's so interesting, right? Because I've seen the hot takes, right? Like let's use Jason Lemkin for an example, right? He's been like, if you're a VP of sales and your CEO's on LinkedIn, like, you know, you might have the wrong profile. But the reality is the game has changed. And I think his narrative around this has changed as well, because, you know, when you think about your job as running this business, and to say that you're spending 20% of your time on LinkedIn, people are like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. What are you doing? But talk about your impressions, because it literally is leading to so much business that it's like, why would you not spend 20% of your time on LinkedIn?
What did Jason say? I didn't catch that.
He had said this, I have to reference the time period, but like this was like 6 to 12, maybe 18 months ago. He's been chatting like, oh, you know, if you're CEO or someone's on LinkedIn, like they're not doing their job, they're the wrong profile. And I think at the beginning,
but he's on LinkedIn.
Well, that was my whole point of view, right? Like he's on LinkedIn, right?
How can it be?
Yeah, it was very interesting, right? Because I think that, you know, like even for me, I told people I built my last company on LinkedIn, like back in 2020. Like I've been posting in 2020 before it was like popular. That's how we built, you know, Pre-Sales Collective to a 35,000 person inbound engine, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, nowadays, like it produces results. And so, you know, talk about what your impressions have looked like. And, you know, even the highlight from the CEO of LinkedIn, right? Like, can you talk about that? Because I think people who don't know about this, it's like, oh, wow, this really works.
Yeah. Yeah, really surprised to hear that.
I know. That's a whole, we can have a whole podcast about that.
Because like I was at his keynote today.
Yeah.
And every slide in the keynote is a post. Nick Mena, I think the CEO of Gainsight, his posts, other people posts. Every time it's a post of someone saying something with a few bullet points of takeaways. Like he built his entire talk of,
how times have changed.
So look, I think that people think about it as in the wrong way. They're thinking that it's a lead engine, and leads, like I have marketing, like I'm marketing, go bring leads. So it's not a lead engine. It's a company growth engine. It's a full end-to-end growth engine for your company. And if I know it's not very popular, but if Elon Musk, right, can be on Twitter and an interview per week and post, right, tweet every day, and why? So what's the difference?
Right.
So, and if today, you know, the CEO of HubSpot took an hour and she went to SaaStr and she gave a talk, right? That's how the world has changed. Not everyone can go and be invited. You have to be, I think, hundreds of millions in ARR to get on SaaStr stage, to build the brand and to enhance, to get visibility. And today we can do it for free.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, that's the idea. And then impact. Let's talk impact. So start with leads, the obvious. So around 65% of our leads come from LinkedIn. Okay. And we're growing. Okay. We're not the insane hyper growth, but we'll do probably 4x this year.
Wow.
We're building efficiency. It's driving a lot of efficiency. We're on track to hit profitability by the end of the year.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. And so that's one. That's the first one. Secondly, it's improving win rate. So I can go, an example from SaaStr. I've met 5 different CROs, CEOs. Some of them have invited me, reached out because they saw that I'm going to be at SaaStr. They're active deals in the pipeline. And the CEO reached out to us to meet, just to hang out. They brought us to an event where they were doing with their VC an event, and we were there talking about the deal, talking about the relationship, the partnership. So all these things could not have happened otherwise. So the win rate is just, I can go right now during a sales process and he asks me to go and send, you know, multi-threading email. Like, and people, hey, Gal, hey, love your content. Okay.
Amazing.
So win rate conversion rate of the PLG funnel.
Yeah.
Like people come, the leads are just far more emotionally attached because they've been following for a while and then for the first time checking us. So it's different than just a regular lead. Retention and expansion.
Yeah.
We're seeing impact. We're seeing partnerships. We have right now a really strategic partnership that they skipped all the other vendors, okay, because they recognize us as the market leaders.
Wow.
And then when I was speaking with them, I told them, hey, we're number one on G2. We've raised the most money. We did this, we did that. Oh, I didn't know. We were just following you on LinkedIn and we figured you're the top vendor in the space.
Wow.
Like you're making the most noise.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so partnership. We got CRO angel investments and VP sales investments in our Series A. A lot of people reached out to me, came in inbound and joined that round.
Amazing.
So
It's incredible. Yeah. Can you talk about like maybe the overall impressions you had over the last, year, 2 years? Are you able to talk about those numbers?
a LinkedIn impressions.
Yeah.
Views.
Yeah.
Think I'm around between 700,000 to 1 million a week, something like that.
700,000, 1 million a week.
Yeah.
Incredible, right? I don't think people do that in a year or even multiple years, It's unbelievable. And so I think, I kind of mentioned this earlier. The CEO of LinkedIn called you out. Is that correct? Yeah. And what did he call you out for?
LinkedIn is not a social channel. It's a growth engine. It's a company-wide growth engine. He quoted that.
Yeah.
He quoted me, right?
Unbelievable.
So he posted that, quoted me. My post did, I think, 1,500 likes, something like that.
Yeah.
His share, okay, did almost that number. And
Wow.
shares get nothing.
Right. They get nothing, right?
His share was just quoting me, tagging me.
Wow. Man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What is the most number of impressions you've had in a single week? Do you know what that number is?
Probably 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Unbelievable.
I had a post that did 1 million. And that's without the video, by the way.
Right.
I know video gets a lot.
Yeah. A lot more.
I'll do video. Yeah.
Well, are you going to start doing video?
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah. So, this is just an incredible conversation, right? So many people who say like, the go-to-market playbook isn't changing. It absolutely isn't. Founder brand matters so much more, and LinkedIn is a growth channel. Realistically, like you mentioned this a couple times, you're now bringing your playbook to the rest of your team, right? Like, obviously, there's reasons as to why you're doing that, but how are you thinking about measuring the impact of that, and how are you thinking about mandating that, across your business?
Yeah. So you kept mandate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can inspire.
Yeah,
like
I
everything
like that.
else.
I like
I think that, leadership is not about getting motivation into people. It's about, motivation is a motive for action.
Sure.
So to get someone to take action, you have to inspire the motive.
Yeah, I love that.
So
I love that.
yeah, so we're talking about the motive. We're talking about what's in it for them. We know what their goals are.
Right.
Each of them. Some of them relate to it. Some of them are not. We show a lot of example, and then we make it a thing. They see the success. They get drawn into it.
Yeah.
And then we're now facilitating it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're supporting it, creating the conditions for them to be able to do it well. Yeah, it just slowly developed over time. We're right now really at a tipping point. My co-founder is gonna start, head of sales started. We're really kind of warming up the engine, getting her on the first few to be at a lower pace, one per week, and that's gonna scale. A head of marketing, we're figuring out a bit more. She's been posting for many years, but we're trying to figure out the angle more right now, connected to a line.
Right.
And we have 2 AEs that want to do it.
No way.
Yeah. And we're now, so what we're probably going to do are weekly workshops where I'm going to take, a lot of examples, and all the time we'll have the group. It's going to be an open thing. Anyone can join. And then it's like you're growth hacking it.
Right. Yeah, you
We
are.
have the Slack channel, and we're just finding more ways to growth hack this thing, to turn it into an
Amazing. I think this is just so fascinating. I think maybe my last question for you is, you've talked about it a bit, but if you're a VP of sales, CRO, founder listening to this episode, you're not on LinkedIn, you don't know where to start. Like what's the advice, right? Because you have even said this is one of the hardest things to do, right?
Yeah.
So like what's the advice for those listening who need to take that first step?
3 things. First, just start posting something to get it out of your system, right? To get comfortable with it. And that's one. Secondly, I would not do what I did and experiment for ages. I would try to get help.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, I have a coach, a LinkedIn coach.
Nice.
So he's the same guy, if you know, Adam Robinson, Sam Jacobs.
Yep.
So he's working with them. His name is Alec Apal.
Yep. Quick shout out to Pavilion because they're hosting Alec. Yeah, I'm actually joining those sessions. Super excited for them. Yeah.
So that's what I would do. I'll join Alec. But Alec is just he gets the framework. He knows how to write and everything. So I would find someone that would help me, even if it's a ghostwriter, it can be a ghostwriter. Although I believe it's a really, really good deep stuff, constant virality. I think that you need to do your own thing, but maybe ghostwriting 80% of it based on a podcast or things that you did right can help you get started. So I would get the help in order to find the what and the how. Okay. What is your framework for writing and what you're gonna write about? Because experimenting, spending that time just waiting, that's painful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
This has been a wonderful conversation, and I really appreciate the advice and the insights, and it's been great getting to know you through this journey. I'm glad we can finally meet in person here at SaaS.
Absolutely.
It was great talking to you. Yeah, looking forward to the next time, all right?